Welcome to True Crime with Strategic Eyes.
Strategic back again. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of True Crime Strategic. I appreciate you guys for joining me today. I have some interesting news for you guys. We got the email. Allegedly. We got to talk about this. We got to preface this, man. We definitely have to, all right? But first of all, let me not be a savage. How are you guys doing today? I hope you guys had a great day. Please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure that you join the channel. We definitely want to get into that algorithm so we can be seen by a wider audience. Now, it's not going to be a long live today because we got a lot we got to do. Today's Veterans Day. I want to spend some time with the kids before I go to work. But I want to get this information out to you guys. Now, a little while back, SF Investigates, who is the private investigator that was hired by the owner of the house that D4VD rented in the Hollywood Hills. This guy said that he had information that somebody reached out to the management of D4VD and notified them that D4VD was involved with a minor. That was huge. Because we kind of tend to forget in this case that we're dealing with two different crimes. In my book, at least. We're dealing with two crimes. The first crime, the genesis of this all, is a pedophile crime. It's a crime of an older man messing with a young woman. That's the first aspect of this crime. And the reason why I say young woman, you guys know, it's because of the YouTube moderation. So please, all you psychopaths out there, do not go rambling in the chat about how she's not a young woman. She's a young C word. Like I don't do that for a living. Like I'm not out there actively on the streets fighting for young people and locking up pedophiles. Unbelievable, YouTube. So we're just trying to respect YouTube's terms of service. So excuse my language if I say certain things certain way moving forward. All right. So the genesis of this case is a pedophile case, right? But then we also have a homicide case, right? And so to me, that was like groundbreaking, ground-shattering news because it was evidence that they knew that at the very least, before her life was taken, however it was taken, that this guy was messing with this young girl. And then a lot of things happened. A lot of things happened that kind of like threw that for a loop, right? Because then after that, SF Investigates, sorry, tongue-tied. He did not release the email. He said that it existed and that it was shared with law enforcement. And then the manager responded. And the manager was like, no, and I'm going to play that response. We covered this already, but I'm playing it for you guys again. And the manager responded. Well, last night I was contacted by a moderator from the Celeste Hernandez or Rivera Hernandez Reddit subreddit. Who shared this with me. They also shared the communications that they had with the person that actually sent the email. That person wants to remain anonymous. So I think all they want to be known as is they were a friend of Celeste. And yes, it was a friend of Celeste. All right. They sent some correspondence that they had that kind of gave context. I was also sent social media posts where this friend of Celeste also notified friends of David, and in turn, those friends blocked Celeste's friend. And each time was like, hey, this girl's underage, please return her home. Now, I looked on the interwebs this morning and it appears that SF Investigates actually dropped this email already on his Twitter page. We're going to cover that email. I'm going to show it to you today. I suspect he probably had this email for quite a bit, but just was withholding it, which is in keeping with his style. No shade. I don't know the guy. I don't want no beef with the guy. But he kind of like keeps information and lets it out as he sees fits. That's his business, whatever. I want to say this. I don't usually mess with Reddit. I'm going to be honest with you. And people who are from Reddit who's watching this probably like, oh, what are you saying? I have very good reason. When I started out my YouTube career doing true crime, I covered a case called Madeline Soto. And I'm a active duty special victims detective. This is what I do for a living. And there was this campaign on Reddit to discredit me, to just talk all kinds of smack and evil things about me. And then I found out, and the whole world found out, there was a big scandal on Reddit, if you were a part of that Madeline Soto world, that the head of the Madeline Soto Reddit page that was attacking me was actually a bona fide, tried and convicted and registered ex-offender. Wow. Let's give it roll one.
Oh my God.
That's the one we want.
Oh my God.
Right. So here I am, like, why am I being attacked on Reddit? And it turns out that the person who was attacking me was a pedophile.
Oh my God.
So from that day, I don't trust Reddit, because Reddit is filled with a whole bunch of angry people, but it's also filled with people that you don't know who they are. You have no idea. But I went on that Celeste Rivas Hernandez subreddit, and I saw that in this particular subreddit, those people are doing a really good job. They're really trying to, there's some a-holes and some meanies in there. I don't live in that subreddit. We do our own research outside of that. But I just went there just to see, like, who are these folks? Because I'm getting a tip from them. Who are these people? And I was very impressed to see that it was mostly comprised of good people. Good people who just want justice for Celeste. Good people who are just appalled that because there's so much big money involved with this case, that for some reason it looks like justice is slipping through their fingers. So I want to give a big shout out to that subreddit specifically, because I don't screw with Reddit for the reasons I just explained to you. But I want to give a big shout out to that subreddit and say, hey guys, keep up the good work, but please do moderate and keep the negativity out of it. Keep the focus on justice for Celeste. You guys are doing a great job, and I want to thank you. So that being said, we go back to this. I want to play for you the response that the manager gave to SF Investigates and the rest of us when SF Investigates came out with the bombshell news that they were contacted and they were notified that Celeste was a minor. We're going to be using Kadisha Lynn. We use her all the time. I always say her name messed up. With the big glasses. Kadisha Lynn. Take it from there. Let's do it.
David's manager has broken his silence about Celeste Rivas Hernandez. David's manager, Josh Marshall, has broken his silence in a comment here on TikTok, which have a lot of people speculating, is this even Josh's real account? Because why would he break his silence here on TikTok? People are questioning these actions, on why he would even take to TikTok to say this, and also noticing that the username of this account that commented all of this was changed yesterday. But I can in fact confirm that this is actually Josh Marshall's account. Josh Marshall is married and he does have children, and this is his wife here on TikTok, Follow D. You can see the last post that she posted was a video of her and her husband, Josh Marshall, and she follows this account that broke their silence here on TikTok in the comments. Josh Marshall came on TikTok to deny allegations against him because the private investigator Stephen Fisher put out information that he allegedly saw some email from Celeste's family to Josh Marshall in 2024 of Celeste being a runaway minor because they thought that she was with David. And in some of the comments, Josh Marshall said this video is false and the person is misinformed. This is the only time that I will speak on this matter for now. This has been a tough time for my family as I am a father of 3 children. I receive no emails. I'm no one's roommate and I live full-time at home with my wife and kids. My daughter is 14 and this news is affecting so many lives. I have never received any emails. I had zero knowledge of anything and I don't live in California. Also, I work remotely 95% of the time and my job doesn't require me to have much interaction with any of my clients, including David, as there are many others that work with him on a day-to-day capacity, not me. This news is tragic for so many and for her family.
In hindsight, I find that kind of weird. I don't really know how the music industry goes and I don't know how management goes because, you know, It's a small show, man. We not that big that we got managers and stuff like that. But if I'm an artist, I'm going to want to have direct contact with my manager. It's not going to be a situation where, you're just going to relegate me to your assistant, Like, I'm going to want to talk to my manager. I want to be in contact. I want to be a part of the decision making. Now, I don't know. Maybe D4VD is not that kind of guy. He's just kind of like automatic pilot. Like, I trust you, steered away. It is what it is. But I always found that that somebody said shots fired at Aki. Come on, man. Aki know what time it is. We ain't got no money to be having managers. Come on. But anyway, let's keep going. You guys are so funny in the chat. But yeah, so like that kind of seemed weird to me. Like he was really trying hard to separate himself from D4VD, because even if he probably had nothing to do with the Celeste situation, right? But even if he didn't have anything to do with it, we would not expect him to say, well, I don't even talk to the guy. That's how I kind of interpreted what she's reading from this statement. Like, I don't even talk to him. I got people that deal with him every year. I don't even talk to the guy. Like, it's a little extreme. Like, he's really trying to convince us. I didn't even speak to David, okay? Other people did. There's other people who were staying over there with him that you might want to look at. Don't look at me. I'm in Miami living next to Diddy. Let's keep going.
I hope the proper authorities get to the bottom of it soon. Let me remind people, a lot of this is speculation and alleged. He's not only saying that just this email is untrue, he is also saying some of the things in the media are also untrue. He is saying even though his name was on the lease at the home that the police raided, that he never lived with David. All the media coverage were saying that David and Josh were moving out of this home, but I can prove that I don't think he lives in California like what this post is saying. His wife's Instagram account says Miami Girly, but also I was able to look up his LLC and it talks about the address of this LLC, but it also gives his personal address and it's in Miami, Florida. All
right, so this is my thing. All right, I'm about to put the email up. I'm gonna put the email up right now. Here we go. That's the email. All right, some of you guys may have seen this before because, like I said, it's been dropped in the last few hours. SF Investigates is the first one to break this, and he posted it on his Twitter. And this is not the SF Investigates picture. This is email. This is from Reddit moderators for the Celeste Rivas Hernandez subreddit. All right. We did not get our information from SF Investigates. Not that it would be a problem if we did, but we just want to differentiate that this information came from Reddit moderators, and I was shown alleged proof because I cannot authenticate it, but I was shown alleged proof that looked convincing that this was received from the actual source of the email. So the source of the email reached out to the Reddit moderator, who then reached out to me. That is the chain of custody, unofficial custody, because I have not authenticated this. Now, this is the reason I'm talking like that, because I think the next thing I'm going to say is very important. So next thing I want to say. Two things, and somebody just stole what I was going to say from the chat, and I like that. You're thinking like a detective, Rachel M. And I was going to say it, but I have to say this because I want you to think I'm just taking your statement, because I was going to say this. Number one, this is not proof to me that the manager was directly contacted. This is like a general email. It's a general email. It's not proof to me that you actually contacted a personal email of the manager, which would then say definitively he got this email, or at least this email was in his inbox. That's number one. Number two, I can't authenticate that this is actually real. And, I was very excited about it when I looked at it, but then I thought about it as an investigator. This is a big issue that we have in these cases, is that we think about these cases with emotions and feelings, but you got to think about it like you're building a criminal case in a court. This is not admissible in court if you can't authenticate it. You have to get the custodian of this email to authenticate it. So you need two people to authenticate this email. You need, number one, a representative of Google, because this looks like a Gmail. You need a representative of Google who could say this email went through our servers and was delivered to X, Y, and Z. And number two, you need the author of the email. And this is the issue that we have with the internet when we're doing our internet sleuth thing, which is cool. That's what I do in my free time, even though I'm a real sleuth when I'm on work time, right? People will send you stuff and we're grateful. We want to receive it. Keep sending it to us. But this is a channel where we talk the real, right? I can't say definitively that this was sent. Neither can SF Investigates unless the person who sent it is willing to come on the show or a show and say, I sent this email. So what I'm going to say is, hey, I know you're watching the show because I was told by the moderator that you wanted to know what time I would be covering this. There's nothing to be afraid of. If you sent this email and it's not fabricated, nobody could sue you. Nobody could say anything bad to you. Nobody could do anything to you. Come forward and speak your truth. Authenticate this for us. Because on one hand, you're saying that you sent this email. On the other hand, we have the manager saying, I never got it. And then there's other evidence that I can't authenticate that says that the email was forwarded to D4VD, but I can't authenticate none of that stuff. So basically, I'm now perpetuating rumors. And if I say it definitively, I open myself up to being liable. So I can't say it definitively. All I could say is that this is allegedly an email that purportedly has been said was sent to a general email to D4VD. I'm a small YouTuber and I can't even get to all the emails that I get. Some emails go unread. I'm responding to emails weeks and weeks later, which to me is horrible because people are taking their time to send me emails. I want to respond to every single one of them and let every single one of them know that they matter to me. But I, on my small level, can't even keep up with the dozens and dozens and dozens of emails that I get from beautiful people like yourselves. How can I expect that D4VD's team is going to reach every single email that comes to them when they have millions, hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of people trying to reach out to them every single day? Come on the show and authenticate your email. Tell your story. If you, in fact, had contact with these people, talk about it. Celeste deserves it. People have been silent long enough. It is the silence of people that resulted in Celeste being killed. It's the silence in people that resulted in Celeste shacking up with a pedophile, in my opinion, allegedly. It's time to speak. It's time to be a voice for the voiceless. Enough of all this behind the scenes, sneaky stuff, everybody sending all this stuff. Speak your truth. If you're watching this right now, speak your truth. Celeste is dead. A little girl that you know is dead. And right now, we're no closer to justice than we were the day that they put her in that trunk. Why? Because of silence. Because people are scared. Scared for what? We don't live in El Salvador. We don't live in Iraq. We don't live in Vietnam. We live in the United States of America. Nobody's coming for you. No mafioso's coming for you. Nobody putting a hit out on you and your family. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. You will be protected under the laws of the United States of America. Speak your truth. So this is what the email says. There's been talk that the artist D4VD possibly has something to do with the disappearance of 13-year-old Celeste Rivas. If that statement holds any merit, please do the right thing and take her home. Her parents are very worried. This is very vague too. There's been talk that the artist D4VD possibly has something to do with the disappearance of 13-year-old Celeste Rivas. If that statement holds any merit, please do the right thing and take her home. Her parents are very worried. All right, I guess they don't want to offend They didn't want to exactly accuse anybody of anything. I get it. I understand. I see it now. Second read through, I understand the direction that this person was taking. Like, hey, I just want to throw you a little hint that it's out there. Not pointing any fingers, not being mean, not making any accusations. I'm just saying, people know that she's with him. It might be in your best interest. I think that's what they were going for. Like that kind of, it might be in your best interest if you release her or send her back home. Her parents are worried about her. I wonder what date was this? This was certainly probably before, allegedly, in my opinion, with no evidence to back it up, they had their settlement talks with the parents. Because I don't believe those parents was really looking for her come like March, April. I think by that time they had their settlement talks. Unbelievable. All right, let's go back to Kadisha Lynn. And if I can get out of here. There we go. Go back to Kadisha Lynn. Let her finish what she's saying while I look at these comments and I get the next exhibit for you guys.
I think Josh does live with his wife and children in Miami, Florida. He does not live with David in Los Angeles in that home that was raided. Honestly, this part could be very true because we know that David is really young, so he might not have even been able to sign the lease for that home. Also, sometimes the lease goes in business managers' names when you're famous to protect the identity of the famous person that is residing in that home because they are famous. And I thought this was pretty interesting. As of 9/26.
Yeah, we got some issues with this whole YouTube situation. It's kind of buffering. Right now, my stream is very strong. So just bear with us. We apologize. It appears though on a replay, we don't have these issues. Like I've watched the show on a replay and I don't see any of the buffering and stuttering that people are experiencing while they're actually watching the live show. And by the way, we have almost 350 people, 348 to be exact, watching this live stream right now. We just want to get those likes up, guys. We're trying to bring a voice to the voiceless, and we're trying our best to break through on these YouTube streets. So please do hit that like button, support the channel so we could get into that algorithm. Let's keep going.
Of 2025, which was just a couple days ago, he is in the legal process of terminating this LLC, as you can see right here. There were multiple media outlets reporting that there was an orange Tesla in the garage when the cops were raiding David's home. They were reporting that that orange Tesla comes back to Josh Marshall, but he is saying, I have no cars registered in my name in California, nor have any cars been in that state. Please use facts with supporting evidence when making comments. A few things that he does say that he really doesn't know David did have me a little confused because as a business manager, I feel like you should.
Yeah, so she's even saying what I was saying. I think she said it first, so we'll give her credit for it. Why are you people don't know. That's why you need an expert PR team because they'll tell you, oh, that's too much, that's too little, this is just right. Like he's doing this off the cuff and he's really trying to distance himself from David too much. He's trying to distance himself and we all know that's not true. You're not a manager taking 15% of this guy's millions of dollars of earnings and maybe even more because the base is 15%. But then when he starts managing the guy's wealth, that's going to be more money because that's a different responsibility. And he starts doing this and he starts doing that. Like at the end of the day, you start taking 25-30% of what D4VD is worth when you add in all your fees and your taxes and all that stuff. And you want to act like you don't know the guy? You don't act like you just met the guy, like you signed him over the telephone, like, hey, yo, I like your TikTok videos. I'm your manager now. Yep, see you in 10 years. That's not how it works. And so it makes it seem like he's disingenuous. It makes it seem like he's not being completely honest with us. But once again, we don't have any evidence. We don't have evidence that he actually saw that email. Let's keep going.
know your clients, but that's neither here nor there. But we can verify that this is in fact Josh Marshall, and some of the things that he is alleging are turning up. You can look them up on the internet. The private investigator Stephen Fisher, who claimed that he spoke with the family and saw this email, took to his Twitter again yesterday saying that he saw this email once again. He said, since certain parties are now claiming that there was no email letter sent to Josh's camp, I confirm with the author of the email that it was sent and it does exist. And also,
yeah, but my issue is that SF investigators, we tried to find it before we came live. He then issued another tweet. Is that what you call it still, a tweet? X. He sent out an X stating, well, maybe I was mistaken. I'm retracting that. I don't know. We didn't say I'm retracting. He said, maybe I was mistaken. I was told that this happened, but maybe it didn't happen. So I'm like, if FS had that email, why did he retract what he stated initially after the manager came out with his response? That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not retracting this email because I'm saying it's alleged, but this is the email that was sent to me. I'm reporting on the email, and I'm leaving it up to you guys to decide how much authority you want to give this email. And I'm also making a plea to the people who wrote the email to come forward and speak their truth and authenticate the email online. So why would SF retract what he said when he had the email the entire time? Or did he have it the entire time? I don't know. But it threw us for a loop because SF said the email existed. The manager came out, said the email is not true. I never received it. Then SF came out and said, all right, maybe I was mistaken. And then now we're all reporting on this email again. Come on. I just want clarity.
Confirmed that law enforcement requested a copy of the email and they are now in possession of it. I noticed the TikTok denial about the letter by email. How come there's no mention of Celeste? How come there was no denial of knowing Celeste or knowing she was a runaway or knowing she was underage? He asked Josh Marshall, can you go on the record denying those things? If Josh will go on the record on social media with a verified account and deny all of those things, then I will happily retract my statement and wait for confirmation from law enforcement. Oh yeah, it looks like there's a lot going on with David's manager, Josh Marshall, right now. This does leave me with questions. I do wonder why Josh Marshall just wanted to make this statement on a random TikTok video on a TikTok account that has hardly any followers instead of using his verified Instagram account that has a lot more.
All right. So yeah, this is crazy stuff here, man. Like I said, I have other communications that happen between TikTokers or Instagrammers, whatever, but I'm not going to post that because I just can't verify that stuff. And I don't want to put people's stuff out there without verifying. Also, some things I think they said they didn't want to put out. And I forget because it was really late last night when I was doing this. I was working when I was communicating with the mods. I don't know which things they didn't want put out and what they did want put out. And the last thing I want to do is expose anybody who wants to remain anonymous. Being upfront and upstanding is very important to me. So with me not remembering what they didn't want put out and what they want to put out, I'm not putting anything out but the email, which is what I for sure know they wanted me to put out. All right, so let's go ahead to Celeste Hernandez. Death could only. So now we did a video. I think it was yesterday we did this video where we talked about the fact that the only charge that may come out of this case is the concealment of the body. A lot of people got upset with that. People got upset with me that I said, I don't know, maybe there's a possibility the reason why they have arrested the guy is because they don't know the time of death. They don't know the manner of death. They don't know how long she was in that car. They don't know how long she was dead before she got into that car. And maybe because they don't have an exact time frame of the passing of this young woman, D4VD has multiple alibis that put him in multiple different places during this span of time that it's hard to say that he specifically is the one who ended her life. You know, people got mad at me for that. They got upset with me. Oh, I love your show, but you need to do your research because I know for a fact that D4VD was around the corner when this happened, huh?
Oh my God!
For real? Oh, you solved the case. Oh, you solved the case. Okay, well, why isn't the LAPD deputizing you? and arresting this dude based off of your thorough investigation.
Oh my God.
No, we don't know, ladies and gentlemen. We're all speculating. And when we look at these cases, if you truly want to be a true crimer, if you want to be an entertainment true crimer, you want to be a hobbyist true crimer, then you can do whatever you want. It's your time, it's your money, it's your attention span. You do whatever you want. But if you really want to be a true crimer, you got to think like a detective. And you know the first thing they train us to do, ladies and gentlemen, when you go to detective school, because there is a detective school, is you set your emotions to the side. I can sit here and holler and scream and go crazy because I'm just an excitable person. But deep down inside, my emotions are disconnected from these cases. I can't help it. It's the way I was trained to be. It's what the job requires. You have to put your emotions aside because when you get in that courtroom, your emotions means nothing. The only thing that matters is the facts.
Oh, hell no.
I got Butterfingers today. I keep pressing the wrong ones. This is the one I wanted. The facts.
Does that make sense?
Your feelings don't matter. Your innuendos don't matter. Your hopes, dreams, and desires don't matter.
Does that make sense?
The only thing that matters is the facts. Those prosecutors have to prove how she died.
Does that make sense?
Where she died.
Does that make sense?
When she died.
Does that make sense?
And who killed her.
Does that make sense?
They don't need a motive. Sometimes we never get a motive. All they need is intent. And right now, we don't have any of those things. We don't have those things. We don't have any of the things that would result in an arrest of someone. But people say, well, the car didn't move for this amount of time. The car didn't move. You just said it yourself. The car didn't move. So that means we didn't see anybody put anybody in the car. That girl could have been in that car for months before the car was even parked outside of that house. That girl could have been dead in another location for months. Since the last time she was seen is the last time she could have been alive. And she could have been in so many different locations before she got inside of that car. SF likes to deal with like these innuendos and be very vague and stuff like that. He hasn't told us who was driving the car. He also hasn't told us that it was D4VD driving the car. And in articles that we met, they're looking at D4VD's brother. For all we know, Celeste, this beautiful young girl who likes, apparently, the rumors are that she used to do drugs, smoke weed and take other drugs and drink along with D4VD allegedly. For all we know, Burke could have been out there doing a concert, making money, doing a store opening, doing a promo for a car company. And his brother allegedly could have been alone in the house with this beautiful girl. And he could have tried to put his moves on her. And she could have said no. And he could have killed her for all we know. And now Burke loves his brother more than he loves anybody else, right? So his brother said, I screwed up, man. I was high, I was drunk, and I choked her, and now she's gone. I don't know what to do. And he's like, oh, man, I don't know what to do either. Put her in the trunk. And now she's gone, but it's not even David who did it. Allegedly could have been his brother. Police are looking into his brother. We covered that yesterday. We don't know. We don't know. I'm mad at David because he's an older guy messing with a younger girl. To me, he's a pedophile. I hate the guy. But I can't definitively say that he killed her because I don't know. I think he did. I feel he did. But my feelings mean nothing in a court of law. So if we're going to talk about arresting the guy, you damn right they better have the goods before they arrest him. Why? Because I believe in our system more than I believe in anything. I believe in justice, and justice is free and fair for all. And we don't want to live in a society where we arrest people based on our feelings. Because guess what? Feelings sent the Central Park 5 to jail for decades. Feelings did that, not facts. Keep that in mind. Some of you guys who are asking for people to go to jail based off of how you feel. We live in a system that requires evidence, and evidence is what we demand. So keep it in mind, people. We're all here speculating. I'm speculating on this YouTube channel. You're speculating in your forums. You're speculating with your loved ones. You're speculating in the comment section. We're all speculating because right now we have nothing. We have nothing but the remains of a beautiful girl that nobody cared about until she was dead. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. No shade to the authors of this email and all that stuff, but people sending emails, but they're not calling the cops. Don't forget that either. Come explain that. We want to hear about it. Let's keep going. Celeste Rivas Hernandez's death could be result in only minor charges after her body was found wrapped in plastic in D4VD's trunk. Teen Celeste Rivas Hernandez's death could result in only minor charges after her decaying body was found in singer D4VD's Tesla truck because Los Angeles cops say they have yet to uncover a serious crime. And people mad at me. I'm just reporting the facts. Let's keep going. Cause of death of 14-year-old whose body was discovered wrapped in plastic is still unconfirmed. The LA Police Department told KTLA in a statement last week that simply referred to a previous press release. It remains unclear whether there is a criminal culpability beyond the concealment of her body, according to the old September 29th statement. Let me explain something to you. If all they'll ever have is the concealment of the body, D4VD is not going to jail. You want to know why? Because there's 1,000 people in his camp who will take that misdemeanor rap and say, yo, I found her dead and I just put her in there because I was scared. They'll take that rap so that he could continue to make money, rejuvenate his career, continue to make money, and then he'll pay that person back in cash. Stacks of cash in an envelope. He'll pay them back. That's what stars have been doing since day one. Rap stars, he's not a rap star, but rap stars are big on that. They get caught with a gun in the car. One of their homies takes the fall for the gun. While he's doing his 2 years in jail or he's doing his probation, his family's getting taken care of. College is getting paid for. Food is in the fridge. Brand new cars are in the parking lot. Guarantee you, if D4VD is the one who put her in the trunk, if all they can muster criminally is the concealment of the body, somebody else is going to take the rap for it. It could be his brother, could be his friends, could be a member of his entourage. If the price is good enough, somebody will take the fall for it. Because remember, you're not taking a murder rap. All you're saying is, I found her dead, and instead of calling 911 and a coroner, I put her inside of a trunk. Let's keep going. Celeste's corpse was found highly decomposed September 8th, the day after she would have turned 15. Workers at an impound lot had called the LAPD after noticing a foul smell from a black Tesla that had been abandoned on the street near a mansion rented by D4VD's manager and towed to their site. The pricey electric car belonged to the 20-year-old music star, whose legal name is David Anthony Burke. Singer was on tour at the time. Celeste's mother has said her young daughter ran away from their home in Lake Elsinore in 2024 at age 13 after getting into a relationship with someone named David. She said Celeste had the same tattoo as the artist, according to TMZ, but even if someone hid Celeste's body in the singer's trunk, they could get no more than a slap on the wrist. Concealing human remains is a misdemeanor in California. There you have it. There you have it. There you have it. Let's keep going. D4VD canceled a world tour after police found Celeste's body. Dozens of photos and videos have circulated online, allegedly showing the two of them together, and messages from fan chat rooms show D4VD followers speculating about a girlfriend named Celeste long before the teen turned up dead. And I'm going to tell you how, whether you want to believe it or not, it's your own business. I'm going to tell you how he's going to beat the pedophile charge too. Let me finish reading this, and I'll tell you how he's going to beat the pedophile charge. See how much more is left. The artist also has an unreleased track named Celeste, and a photo shows him in a parking lot just blocks from the girl's home. The Post confirmed. Police have since raided a $20,000 a month Hollywood Hills mansion leased by D4VD's manager near where the Tesla had sat for weeks before being towed. Photos circulating online show the artist spending time there. A private detective also claimed to have discovered farm tools in the house. Steve Fisher was hired by the owner of Hollywood Hills mansion to comb through the posh pad. As part of this 3-week ongoing investigation, detectives said he discovered multiple tools normally used on farms that he claimed could be used to get rid of a body. Security footage showed the SUV was last moved from its normal spot in front of the home on July 29th and parked just a few blocks away, where it would remain until a neighbor filed a complaint on August 29th, according to Fisher. The car was towed to the impound on September 5th, and Celeste's body was discovered 3 days later, according to the LAPD. I do believe that when the car was moved on July 29th, that Hernandez was in the front trunk of the Tesla at the time and probably had been for quite a while at that point. The rapper, he's not a rapper, he's a freaking singer. Let's get it right. The singer has gone dark since the grisly discovery and hired high-powered lawyer Blair Burke, who previously worked for disgraced movie mogul Harvey Weinstein. Neither Burke nor the LAPD responded to Post's request for comment. Now, I want to play something for you guys, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to explain to you why D4VD is going to possibly get away with the pedophile charges. But I need to get something. So I'm going to play this video for you real quick. And then from Law and Crime, and I'll be right back. You guys know I'm an idiot, so we're going to have some fun with this.
The Los Angeles...
So we covered this already. This is no homicide charges. This came... Yeah, Law and Crime, you guys came out with that after I did. Thank you very much. We're going to play this for a couple of seconds. I'll be right back. I love Jesse Weber. I'm a big fan of Law and Crime and Jesse Weber. Give me a second, guys, and I'm going to break this down for you from a active duty, highly accomplished sex crimes detective. I'm going to break this down for you. And if you want to accept it, then you want to accept it. If you don't want to accept it, that's your business. It's all good. But let's do this.
Police Department just confirmed that Celeste Rivas Hernandez wasn't killed. Their latest statement has all of us guessing at what potential criminal liability anyone may face here after her body was found in a car registered to singer David. We are bringing back on Steve Fisher, the private investigator who is looking into aspects of this case on the ground in Los Angeles. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. As you're watching this, have you ever wondered how we're able to share so many clips from all of these stories so quickly? I'll give you a secret if you're in the content creation game. It's called Opus Clip. This is an all-in-one AI editor that makes it a breeze to cut, create, and upload videos across any platform. Through AI, Opus Clip, it generates B-roll, it reframes footage, and it even cleans up audio. It is so easy to use. You just visit opus.pro/sidebar, you sign up, you upload, and in minutes you will have perfectly edited clips ready to go for TikTok, Shorts, Reels. Opus is your one-stop shop. And having a tool like Opus Clip means our producers can get you viral courtroom updates instantly. At Sidebar, we want listeners to share their ideas too, and this is the most powerful tool there is to help you edit like a pro. Go to opus.pro/sidebar to create your videos today. What do we make of this new update in the David case? As we continue to cover the investigation into the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, whose body was found in a Tesla that was registered to the singer out in LA back in September, and there have been no arrests, no one, including David, has been named a suspect or person of interest. What is happening right now? Because the LAPD has confirmed with KTLA that its prior news release, quote, stands on its own. What does that mean? Well, if you go back to that prior news release, essentially the message being sent is there is currently no crime other than concealment of a body that may have occurred. there is no case being sent over to the LA County District Attorney's Office for potential review or potential prosecution. And one of the reasons that announcement has been made was because the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner has not yet determined a manner or cause of Celeste's death. But should I say, as of now, right? Could this change? Does that mean they have no evidence right now that someone actually killed Celeste, caused her death, that there's no homicide charges on the table right now? Was it accidental? Someone freaked out, tried to dispose or conceal her body afterwards? Or is this basically a statement, they're not going to find any evidence that someone killed her, right? I want to get into what this means and what may be going on behind the scenes with someone who is on the ground in LA, someone who is investigating what may have happened to Celeste. I'm talking about Steve Fisher, a missing persons private investigator who is hired by the owner of the property that David was staying at in LA. Now remember, this property was nearby where that Tesla was found. And as you may recall, the owner wants some more information about what role his house, his property, may have played in this, if any. And you may also remember, if you've been following us here on Sidebar, that we have interviewed Steve before. And when it came to what may have been...
All right. So I got to put in, because D4VD, he like his bonnets, man. So I'm going to explain to you guys why D4VD is going to get off on this pedophile case. See, D4VD, I don't think so. So far, there's been no evidence whatsoever. Text messages, email, social media, leaked videos, or anything that shows that D4VD was actually intimate with Celeste. Now, we can all speculate that D4VD was intimate with Celeste, but we don't have any proof that D4VD was intimate with Celeste. I have a feeling that if he was charged with being a pedophile on Celeste, that his high-powered attorney would get up before the court and say, Your Honor, people of the court, Celeste was not his lover. She was simply his muse. She inspired him. That's why he made songs after her, named after her. My client would never engage in intercourse with an underage person like Celeste. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I present to you today a simple premise for you to consider. If the bonnet don't fit, you must acquit. That's right, I said it. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if the bonnet don't fit, it doesn't fit, put the bonnet on, D4V. They're going to put a bonnet on him like, put it on. It's not fitting. If the bonnet don't fit, you must acquit. Not guilty. That's it. I told you guys from day one that one of the most difficult cases that you could put forward is a age of consent case. Rather, scratch that. A sexual assault case, period. When you have no DNA, no evidence, and when you don't have a victim. We don't have any evidence. There's been no evidence. They said that she was never pregnant. We have not heard anything yet of them finding semen inside of her vagina or her uterus or whatever, her cervix or whatever. Cervix is what I want to say, not uterus, cervix. That's where we usually find the DNA after the SA cases. We'll find it in the cervix. There's no evidence of them finding evidence of DNA in her cervix that has been linked to David. There's no evidence that there was foul play in terms of SA involved with her unaliving. There's no evidence of that. There's no evidence of CP, because remember, if David and her is having intercourse and he records it, or even she records it. I had a case where the young person is the one who recorded the interaction with the older person, and they loved that older person, but it still was CP. It still was that unauthorized videos with young people, if you don't know what CP means. What's the other word that we use now? CSAM. There's no evidence of them finding CSAM on her phone, no evidence of them finding CSAM on his phone. I don't even know if they found her phone. There's no evidence of them doing a subpoena on the social media and seeing like hidden or unreleased photos of them kissing or something intimate to prove that they were involved in a intimate relationship. There's none of that. If you don't have that, then guess who gets to set the narrative? D4VD and his bonnet sets the narrative. Him and his bonnet, they set the narrative. We have nothing to counteract what he says because she's not there to testify. And there's no evidence that was removed on her body who could testify for her in her stead since she's gone. So it will be very difficult to put forward a CSAM or a age of consent case or whatever against David unless they have information they have not released yet. So let's recap this before we get out of here. Please hit that like button, support the channel, guys. I know I'm a little crazy. I try to make it entertaining because we talk about heavy stuff. This is heavy, heavy stuff. And for me, how I deal with the heavy work that I do on a daily basis is by having a healthy sense of humor. So instead of hiding that from you guys and presenting myself as like the ultimate detective guy who never smiles, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to bring you the same energy that I bring to my professional career. I'm going to bring that to you guys because that's what helps me deal with the trauma in the day job. So we're going to present this in a fun way. So please, we're trying our best to give you heavy stuff in a way that you could process it without leaving these shows traumatized. Hit that like button, support the channel. Hit that like button. So let's recap what we got going on here. We don't know when she was killed. We don't know where she was killed. We don't know exactly when she was put inside of the front trunk or the frunk as they call it. We don't know who killed her. We have no clue what the motivation would have been because by all accounts, D4VD was obsessively obsessed with her. I was going to say in love with her, but I don't want to say that because I don't have no evidence. But he was obsessed with her. By all accounts, she was definitely enamored with him as a person, with him as a star, and with her relationship. Whatever that relationship was, she was enamored with it. So we don't even have motive. I think this kind of, when we take our emotions out of it, and even myself, because yes, I did get a little emotional with this case. When we take our emotions out of this and we look at it purely from an investigative point of view, we look at it from the point of view of the detectives that's currently working this case. Jesus Christ, ladies and gentlemen, we have nothing.
Oh my God!
We got a body that we can pin on no one.
Oh my God!
The only person that we could pin this body on, and it's no guarantee that it will stick, is the last person we saw driving that car, and we don't even know who that is.
Oh my God!
Hence, no arrest in the tragedy of Celeste. Anyway, people, I appreciate you guys for joining me today. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for supporting me on this journey that we're on to bring a voice to the voiceless. Anybody who's new to the show, please make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. If you're new to the show, you don't know who I am. I'm an active duty special victims detective. I've been investigating for like 15 years now, and I've been in law enforcement for 19 years and counting. I've done many high-profile cases. I've done many cases that will shock you to your core, and I'm just doing my best to try and give a voice to the voiceless and reach as many people as possible on YouTube. So please consider subscribing to the channel, hitting that like button, supporting us on this endeavor. We love you guys immensely. You guys are great. Big shout out to all the members who have joined us today. You guys are great. You guys are the lifeblood of the show. And big shout out to all of my what's the name of those guys? Patreon members. I just got thrown off. Somebody did something in the chat that's like a big no-no, but they handled it. It's all good. Yeah, big shout out to all my Patreon members. You guys are amazing. We put exclusive things on the Patreon that you will not find anywhere else on any of my other platforms, because Patreon is literally, in my opinion, a bastion of free speech. If YouTube was what Patreon is, YouTube would probably be the best platform on the internet. Unfortunately, that's not the case, and YouTube is highly moderated and they're very unforgiving with their creators, so it is what it is. But all my Patreon people, if you haven't joined the Patreon, consider joining the Patreon. You will not be disappointed. You get to see a side of True Crime Strategic that you're not going to see here on YouTube, because YouTube is like a chain on me. It like holds me down. Like before I go live, I'm always singing "Wading in the Water." They got me singing Negro hymnals. I feel like I'm a slave. Wading in the water, children, wading in the water. Like YouTube got those chains on us, man. So anyway, guys, we appreciate you guys immensely. Thank you so much. We'll go ahead and see you guys on the next one. We get that outro queued up. Oh, let me make sure I show love to anybody who showed up to the show. I did miss some super chats. Let me definitely holler at those folks. You don't know, with a $5 super chat, says showing support. Thank you so much. You don't know. That's very kind of you. Chris DP, with celebrating 11 months as a White Shield member, says happy first snow of winter in New York City. I've heard, I'm not in New York City, I'm upstate New York, and I heard that there was snow in New York City. I have not gotten any snow up here yet, but we're looking forward to it because I'm always down to use my snow blower. I bought it, but we barely use it because of climate change. Like we don't get snow like that anymore. When I was growing up, we get so much snow. It'd be snow like in Harlem, like 10 feet up on the sidewalk. You couldn't even see the streets. That's how badly it used to snow back in those days. It doesn't snow like that anymore. I don't know why. It is what it is. Let's keep going. Keep It 1K Daily is now a recruit member. Welcome to the family. Thanks for supporting us. Sarah Adams, longtime supporter of the show. She even contributed one time. It was on the show getting interviewed. She does that whole forensic profiling thing. Really cool stuff. She gave us a $2 super chat, says, love your passion, my dude. We appreciate you. And then another $2 super chat saying farm incinerator. Wow, an incinerator. That's allegedly what they had in that house. I'm not sure. That's what Sarah says. And you don't know what a $1.99 super chat has a last date seen alive been confirmed. I don't think that, well, yeah, I think it has been confirmed through the different pictures that we've gotten and all that good stuff, but we don't know what happened after that. Like, she could have been alive for weeks after the last date she was seen. We have no idea, no clue. Really good question. You don't know. And lastly, Daniel Williams is celebrating 13 months as a recruit. Thank you so much for your consistent support and dedication to the show. Daniel Williams, you are appreciated. You are all amazing. Now, that being said, I think it's time for us to get the hell out of here. I'll see you guys on the next one. Strategic is out of here. Peace.